What is up everybody, I'm hoping you're all well and we're here to talk about today video game movies. Most video game movies are pretty bad, they're not really that enjoyable. There's been the odd few good ones here and there, but they've not been great, like Tomb Raider and Warcraft, two movies that I actually quite enjoy. The Guilty Pleasure Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie as well, also been pretty enjoyable. Hell, even Doom being full on guilty pleasure fun. But could this movie genuinely be one of the best video game movies made? Well, that's what we're here to talk about, so guess what we're going to do, guys? We're going to talk about it. Detective Pikachu. So Detective Pikachu is a live-action video game adaptation movie of the game Detective Pikachu that stars Ryan Reynolds as the voice of Pikachu and Justice Smith as Tim. When Tim learns about his father's death in a fatal car crash, he goes to his father's city. He was a detective, so he goes there to basically collect his things up. He hasn't really been that connected with his father, so he's there to collect things, sign whatever papers need signing, and then go. However, upon arriving, it's clear there is something amiss about the case. And when he returns to his father's apartment, he is greeted by Pikachu, Detective Pikachu, who is trying to find out what actually happened to Henry, Tim's dad. And here we have our movie, and when I first heard of this movie when it was announced, I wasn't all that excited. It was going to be a live-action Pokemon movie. I haven't really been a fan of Pokemon. I enjoy Pokemon, don't get me wrong, I like it. I've enjoyed the animated films. However, the fact that we're bringing it to live action scared me a little bit, and the fact that it is also based off of the video game definitely put me on edge. However, when the first trailer dropped, it actually looked pretty decent. I was actually quite excited for it. I mean, I really like Ryan Reynolds. I think he's a very charismatic guy, and admittedly, he gives a very charismatic and energetic portrayal to Pikachu. All the visual effects for the Pokemon in this movie also looked great. They were adorable. It really makes me want to live in a world with Pokemon so I can have my own little Pokemon beside me because they're just that cute. And this does open the door to having some more live-action Pokemon movies. And after seeing this movie, I have to say, I'm not going to really be opposed to that because this movie wasn't half bad. Ryan Reynolds is definitely the highlight of the film. Every scene he is in, he brings all of it, whether that be the laughter, the emotion, the energy. Ryan Reynolds is just a very charismatic dude, and I really liked his portrayal of Pikachu. Justice Smith in this movie, who plays Tim, although I've seen him in Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom, and admittedly I found him annoying as hell in that, he was a much more fleshed out character than I thought he was going to be. However, there is a lot of human characters in this movie that are just kind of there, and admittedly Tim being included, I couldn't really get behind any of them. While Tim is the most fleshed out of all the human characters in this film, his backstory still isn't that intriguing for me really to latch onto it. He did a good job in the movie, don't get me wrong, and his back and forth with Ryan Reynolds was great. But as I said, Ryan Reynolds was the high point of the film. Every scene that Ryan Reynolds was in was fantastic. The movie is also directed by Rob Letterman, who also did the Goosebumps movie, which I really enjoyed. So again, I was quite excited to see what he'd bring to this movie. He does a very good job in this movie as well. The shots are very well set up. As I said, the CGI for the Pokemon was fantastic. The cinematography is also really good for this movie. Not as good as it probably could have been, but still fantastic. And the score done by Henry Jackson, I believe is who it is. He also did the score for Wreck-It Ralph. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy because he seems to have that sort of retro video game tone throughout his scores. And I have to say the score worked really well in a lot of the elements of this film. It paid homage to the fact that it was actually based on a video game, whilst also heightening when we needed to feel tense or scared. But if you're going to this movie expecting a lot of Pokemon battle scenes, then you're going to be disappointed because there aren't really many battle scenes in this movie. I mean, there's one kind of in the middle and then the big battle scene at the end. But it wasn't really much of an issue for me. Like I said, I've not really been a huge fan of Pokemon. I've not really grown up with it or connected with it as much as other people have. As I said, I've enjoyed it, and admittedly seeing it on the big screen is great. I'm definitely intrigued to see what they can do with it in the future. And for me, the fact that it wasn't all focused on battles, I actually enjoyed more because it was focused on these characters trying to uncover the truth behind Henry's death. However, with it being a crime mystery sort of film, there are going to be some surprises in there that you're not really going to expect or you're not supposed to expect. While one of them I didn't really see coming, there are a few other moments in this film that I could see coming a mile away. When we introduced a certain element that the bad guy was doing to all the people in this city, I kind of went, alright, so that explains everything to do with Pikachu, to be honest. Be very careful not to give away spoilers there for you guys, but it is kind of obvious once you get to learn that sort of thing. What I mean by that is when that reveal is put into place, it kind of makes sense as to what's actually going on and where the movie's going to go. Overall though, guys, I had a really good time with this movie. I wasn't expecting to. I didn't expect it to be as good as it actually was. And while the human characters do definitely let it down, the fact that they're not very developed and I couldn't really latch onto any of them definitely didn't help. Ryan Reynolds absolutely builds this movie up to be better than it should be. He's incredibly charismatic. He has the majority of the funny lines in this movie. The movie also tries to tug on your heartstrings a little bit, and if you are a Pokemon fan, that may work for you. For me personally, I didn't really feel that attached. However, that also could be for me that we tried to focus it on some of the human characters as well rather than just Pikachu, so I wasn't all that invested. So I do recommend checking this movie out if you want a family fun movie that you can just turn your brain off and enjoy. It is a very entertaining movie, don't get me wrong. I had a really good time with it. I'll probably pick it on Blu-ray when it's out, and so for all those reasons I'm going to give Detective Pikachu 4 stars. So, Detective Pikachu, have you guys seen it yet? What do you think about it? Whatever you thought, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks to those for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if there's some more videos just like this one, then subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks again for watching. You guys are awesome, and I will see you all in the next video.